What's happening, people? Welcome back to Full Credit to the Boys, the post-match show where we're breaking down the Warriors versus the Dolphins that just happened finished for about 45 minutes ago. And I got my good friend here, Ash, man. Welcome in, Ash. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, good, my bro. Good, my bro. Busy day today, but it was good to be on, man. Like, it's gonna be awesome to review this game. Felt like it was only 2 seconds ago, honestly. Like 40 minutes ago. Shit, that went quick.
Yeah, I definitely did. And nice to get, sometimes it's nice to get an early game in.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy folk in the camp tonight. Shout out Jacko. Welcome in everyone from Instagram as well. Great to have you guys here. And if you guys are new to the channel on YouTube, please give us a like and a subscribe to Wise Up TV. It'd be greatly appreciated. But thank you all for jumping in. Hey, we're going to break down this one for you guys. Look, we nice win. A lot
Mm.
to, I suppose, work on. But ultimately, I suppose that's what we got what we wanted out of that. And we kind of, I suppose, saw some real dominance and some real potential, and then some real flat moments as well. Ash, what did you make of that game, bro? And kind of share your thoughts on that.
Yeah, bro. I thought very early we were dominant. I'd say throughout most of the game we were very dominant. I think we shot ourselves in the foot. Like, it's preseason, I understand that and all that sort of stuff, but we did shoot ourselves in the foot to allow the Dolphins back into this game at the end there, and really made it a little bit too close for comfort. If we were looking at, like, all right, we need to win this game, you know what I mean? But I thought there was really good signs. The bare bones of it, we have a very, very good team on paper. We saw a lot
Yeah,
of really good individual performances in that. Obviously, just the little things we need to fix up on, like our disciplinary areas, like the leg pulls were killing us in this game. Like the penalty count is very much a joke in that favor, bro. But yeah, that was my honest thoughts, man. What were your thoughts on this one?
yeah, just some. I mean, that early period was just beautiful to watch. I mean,
Mm,
all of our guys, our key guys, look really in good shape. In general,
yeah.
great to see Egan back working around the middle. We just saw the tempo lift.
Mm-hmm.
The squad just looks quicker around when he's there involved.
Yeah.
We saw SJ's looking good, AFB, Tohu,
Yep.
Barnett,
Barnett was good.
and Capewell. We're going to get into a little bit of Capewell soon. That
100%.
was really nice. Yeah, so I thought the first 30 minutes was just solid, and then it just sort of fell away as I think we kind of pulled the foot off the pedal a little bit,
Yeah.
um, and then it kind of just deteriorated through errors and things like that, and then your penalties. Um, yeah, so it was kind of we got to see a lot of what we were hoping and expecting,
Yep.
but at the same time, just little creepy areas, and you don't want to. I don't want to overanalyze them because it is preseason, but you're
100%.
just hoping, like, okay, we hope we don't carry this type of form into the start of the season, which I don't think we will. But
Nah.
yeah, I thought it was one of those games. I thought the Dolphins were just hanging around. You know what I mean? Like, just
Yeah, as they do, man. They're
as
a
they
really tough
do.
outfit,
Yeah,
bro.
they're a tough outfit to put away, like fully away. I mean, we
Yep.
did well to keep that buffer, but felt as though they were just always thereabouts, and they got they pulled off some great plays,
Yep.
that type of thing. But yeah, ultimately, preseason match, we got to see combinations that we liked, and I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
one hundred
happy with.
percent. I'm very positive, bro. We led a lot in all the dominant stat areas. We really did look really, really well. Obviously, it just felt like one of those moments where it was just like you kept looking at the scoreboard and kept going. We probably should be about 20 or 30 points in a buffer between then, and it got really close to about a try or a couple of tries at the end there, where it was like, oh, it's getting a bit closer here, but. Good to see the boys get the run. Obviously, SJ and all these main boys that we really want to see, and players that we've signed on. Obviously, Catewell was definitely a big one we were watching in this one, and he impressed me. And like, obviously,
Yep.
just good to see to have that experience in our club as well. And I think that's the big thing that I took out of this one.
Yeah, questions coming in. We'll get into straight into Capewell. He's obviously the newest recruit in terms of coming from Aussie, and big talks around him.
Mm,
But as well, like we wanted to see him play with, and he played on that right edge with SJ and looked really good, man. I mean,
yeah,
was not expecting that grubber in behind, and
yeah,
but like cool,
yep.
like love it, love the improvising, love like the confidence. Yeah, speak to me a little bit about Capewell, man, and you were big on him, and you knew his intangibles and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Did that kind of manifest itself for you in this game?
I think that was the thing that really carried Kate Bell to be a good signing for me. Like I always knew that it was a good signing. I didn't think it was incredible when we first got him. Mainly the age was the big thing. I was kind of like, oh, I hope injuries and age don't really catch up with him here. But I just knew the experience and all the intangibles are all there with Kurt Capewell. And the biggest thing is biggest example, as you said before, his kick chase is honestly second to none. Like he always wants it, and I think it really did show in that one play. He grubbed it for himself. He chased it, almost got there. Did worry me a little bit. Like got up, shook the shoulder a little bit, and I'm like, oh, that's the shoulder, bro. Like I don't want you injuring that early. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
just shows his effort, man, and that's the big thing. He's so mobile. He broke a couple of really nice tackles there. Had a couple of good runs through the middle and that, but. Yeah, just a really good hit out from him, in my opinion. I'm really excited to see him and Barry and all that connect on that edge and just create some really good footy on that side.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers, if you guys go back and look at the numbers, I think he racked up about 35 tackles. Running numbers aren't great, but I think it's another workhorse type back rower
Yeah.
that opens up our bench, and we'll probably get into our bench later on. But I think first thing I noticed with him was, that grubber behind. But also the kick chase. You told me he was a big kick chase dude, and there was just one set. Sean put it up, set nicely, and Capewell just shut it down, and that was nice to see. So I love what he's offering. 80-minute back rower, and I think we go with the 80 minutes Ford and Capewell.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed watching Capewell. I'm looking forward to them. Yeah, offensively getting a bit more going. But defensively just looks solid, looks in good health. Now those shoulders, bro, do you think he's still very sensitive or quite tender, or they kind of healed up? Or
So I'm pretty sure he had little moments last year where he was dealing with obviously he had a shoulder reco to start of the season or before the end of last 2021 season, I'm guessing. It was the season that him and Mam, I think Mam missed a ton of tackles that year as well. It was due to that shoulder. He was carrying a shoulder injury. But just, I think what obviously his age is a big thing as well. It's like, when I saw that, I saw it, of his age and all that. I'm just like, bro, like in a preseason game, we need to get him off, like get him all ready and all that. But he showed a lot of good things. And I think, as we said before, as with his kick chase on defense and stuff, I think one of the biggest things that impressed me with Barry when I first saw Barry was his kick chase as well. It's something I've always noticed with Barry. He's always the first man there. And now to add Capewell on that same side, and especially on Shawnee's favoured side, I feel like that's where our momentum can really start to really put pressure in defence. And I think that's going to grow more and more throughout the season. And I'm really, really impressed with that side of things. So, it impressed me, man. Hopefully the shoulder holds up. He has a history of shoulder injuries. That's why I got worried. But I think it will, man. I honestly do. And especially, like, Webby's smart. I think we'll talk about, obviously the minutes and some of the players in this game and all that got us a little bit worried, but I'm sure Webby will like manage him as best as he could, like the Broncos sort of did last season as well.
Yep. And a lot of questions coming in Instagram, guys. Appreciate it. Talk about Metcalf, Tavanga. Poor one, but we can get into all the details of that. Look, let's talk about this one here. Roger just throwing another curveball. Webby throwing curveball after curveball at us. We thought Roger just at center was enough, but Roger at fullback didn't miss a beat and pretty much cemented that he's in the mix if it needs to be. Well, yeah, and his history would tell you that. But what did you make of? I suppose let's do the center work in the first half. What did you make of that? And then going into the fullback, what is it? What you expected, or it was a bit of a surprise, but. Yeah, how did you find that he did at fullback?
I think like if we look at the game as a whole, I think his centre work was good as it was in that first game. Obviously, didn't have as many shining lights as what he did in that first game. Obviously, we had a very stacked team overall. I think we didn't want to just keep attacking down that edge. We had mixed sides there. Obviously, Shawnee's back, so the right side is very dominant in that sort of thing. But it's good to see Monty get over early, in that left side as well. But when we look on both sides, obviously he got himself way more into the game in that fullback role. Like he was just popping up everywhere. his tackle breakability is just on a different level, bro. That skip to get through the line always breaks that first tackle, and it gets you off your seat. I don't know that many times that I've been watching football, and just like when I see Roger touch the ball, I get off my seat. I think he's breaking the line every time. It's incredible, and it's so good to have him back. If he plays center, Keane obviously. If he plays fullback, I just so love having Roger back. Obviously the conversation is like, is he the next in line? Because it was very weird to see from me, in my opinion, as we spoke in the last show. I thought Roger would probably be rested in that second half there, but he chose to put Tuapiki off and put Roger at fullback to play him there. And that really, like, does that mean maybe to start the season, does Bumps maybe play a little bit more centre there too, and RTS starts or Tuapiki? Like, I would go Tuapiki and have Roger on that centre side for combination, but it's a bit of a curveball, as you said. Like, what were your thoughts there, man? Like,
Oh, well, I'm gonna go play it safe and say that he just wanted to have a look at it to
yeah,
get Pompey
yeah.
in the game, pretty much.
I thought Pompey did
Yeah,
did a
yeah,
couple of really nice things as
some good
well.
things. Yeah, and I think he's just looking at it and saying, "Oh, well, I want to get a look of him at F fullback."
Yeah.
The interesting thing, and this is my kind of thing, looking at it moving forward, is how much does Roger impact? Well, I don't think it will impact CNK, but it's like almost like Roger is just can be an overpowering in terms of yardage running,
Touches. Yep.
touches. It's all you got to take those things into account. So it's almost like
100%.
looking at how many touches does he get a game. I mean, look at
Yep.
his missed tackles today, 8 missed tackles. Like
Yeah.
so you got to feed this guy the ball because he's dangerous with the ball. But
Yep.
that will take away some of CNK's touches naturally, and so you're just thinking, okay, Webby's probably weighing it up and saying, where do I want him?
Yeah.
Where's the most effective to get this guy? And can I get away with it, with Pompey on the edge or whatever that's my kind of thought process. But I think he'll stay safe and leave him at left center for now. But shivers, it did throw a curveball at us.
It impressed me, man. It took me back. Like, it was just like, Roger's back, man. Roger's back. Like that. Oh, that skip for that last try assist, just to get on the outside of that player and give Ali that beautiful ball to send him over. Like,
Yeah, that
man.
that tells me again that first receiver touches, he's got that too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's putting questions in our heads because we're like, okay, shivers, some of that look better than CNK. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Even though, like,
So
CNK did improve that towards the end of last year, it was just still like, it's just Roger's natural game. Like, Roger is like the more natural NRL fullback. Like, he's
yeah,
obviously a Daily
yeah.
M fullback, you know what I mean? But we're trying to play him at centre to try and keep CNK there. Like,
One thing I'll give him though, CNK is defensive work at the back.
yeah,
I'll hold on that, and that's the fabric of what has been good for CNK is his
100%.
defensive work, covering work, talking and
Yep,
so I'm kind of in that. I think like a lot of everyone's saying is like it's they'll stay with RTS. I think I'll stay with him.
100%.
But frick, if you get in a situation where CNK goes down,
Yep.
Rogers there, bro, and
Oh,
so going to be interesting benches too. Like frick, there'd be some interesting 18th mans that will kind of make us think. But
just
that's what it's.
overall, our squad, man, like our versatility throughout our squad, it's switched up, We were like, we had Capewell come off. We had Niakore play through the middle, looked incredible. Played on the edge, didn't miss the beat there when Capewell went off. So if people go down, like we cover in so many places, like our squads could change so much during the season, and like we could cover in so many different positions. Like it was
Yep.
very very good to see that aspect of that.
Yeah, and we're gonna go through some of those things, guys, as we talk through it. Some people on Instagram talking about Rocco Berry injury update. Did you have anything on Rocco? I thought it might have been looked like
It
a Achilles, but then he had a whack on the eye, so I wasn't sure if it was an eye thing or.
Yeah, there's no real update yet. Not that I've seen from NRL physio or whatever. Usually that's where I kind of like get the first little updates on it and that. But he did grab at his like calf area, which was a bit of a worry. Like Valence was just he was trying to hang on to dear life there. He almost like is that line running just is incredible from Rocco. So hopefully it's not anything too crazy. Maybe just a minor little strain. But like Ali had some moments there too. So it's kind
Yep.
of like if Rocco goes down, like at least we are confident in our centers to come up with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
hopefully Rocco's there because he really impressed me. I thought in this game as well.
Yep.
But we got players there as well. So hopefully he's
Yep.
doing well.
No, absolutely. And everyone that's in here on YouTube, if it's your first time here, please give us a like and a subscribe. It's great to have you guys in
Yeah, shout out to the
with
chat,
us.
bro. It's
Yeah,
going
big up
crazy,
the
man. It's
chat. Big up the
awesome.
chat. Massive
Yeah,
chat. Welcoming new people. I think Duncan's here. Nas is back. Jacko's in here. Causa, great point by Causa. Yeah, RTS training fullback covering. So great, some good points. Great to have you guys' thoughts in here
hundred
as
percent.
we yarn. So yeah, it's just exciting, man. I think we've got a really good balanced squad. We got Hakuna Marata. Off the
Yeah.
bench, and I think this was a shout to Anton, who called this for
Mm-hmm.
Morata off the bench.
Yep.
Watching a lot of his work at Para, and wasn't a good man. What was your thoughts on Morata?
Incredible, man. Incredible. Really impressed me. Had the really big line break through the middle. Just workhorse. His like leg speed through the middle is just like it was so good to see. You know, someone that's so versatile that can play in the middle there. And obviously, if AFB does obviously AFB is leaving at the end of the season. Like we were so stressed when we first got that news of AFB leaving. But in this game, like our AFB didn't really stand out incredibly in this game, and Murata looked amazing. You know, Barnett looked amazing. Everyone seems like they stepped up a level. So I was so happy. And then, as I said, he did amazing work to switch to the edge, which you have to think about so many different things on that edge, you know, with our plays running through that and scoring a try there. Just, oh man, it was so good to see. He's so versatile. I can't wait to have that momentum switcher come off the bench, punch through the middle. Man, I'm excited, bro. What are your thoughts when you saw him pretty early on?
Again, it's a fresh look at Morata. It's we got to look at him with new eyes now.
Yeah.
A try, mate. Hey, what do you reckon, man? Over unders on Morata for maybe 8 tries this year. Hey,
Man. If AFB can do it, bro. He's got the foot speed too. Like, he looked good, man. He looked good.
yeah. I like it. That's I think that's where he's naturally best.
Yep.
An impact prop.
Yep.
You can just tell the runs, that massive run through the middle, and then that try.
Yep.
He's gonna I think he's gonna have a great season, and he's so consistent with his tackling, everything. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him, so I'm pretty happy with Morata.
100%, man.
Um, yeah, I think we should be pretty excited about that one, and it changes the bench massively.
Yeah.
Well, not massively, but it solidifies the bench. Bunty and Ale naturally drop out at this stage.
Yep.
Sorry, who we got? We got Walker, Jazz at the moment,
Walker, Jazz, near
new
quarter.
quarter, and then who's that?
And then
17.
whoever gets that starting front row role, whoever misses out on that, will most likely filter down to that starting bench role.
Oh, so it
in
could
my
be
opinion.
Bunty or Ali.
Which it was tough because we didn't see a lot of Ale in this game, but he really did impress us in that first game of preseason. So,
Yeah,
and Ale, like, he came on really late as well. I thought, like, you know, Webby played a lot of big minutes through a lot of our starting unit in this game.
yeah,
Definitely did worry me in moments, but also, like, trust in Webby, bro. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
it was just like, he put a lot of minutes into some of these boys. Like, Tohu played a decent amount of minutes for a guy that just hangs on every season. So, yeah. So
Yeah, that's just
crazy.
his style now. I've kind of come to accept that that's just how he operates.
Yeah, it's his mindset.
Yeah, and how his body kind of moves and that type of thing. So, but no, I love Morata. I think we're gonna it bolsters the pack. Those lighter packs that we had last year, you felt as though like are very vulnerable.
Especially when AFB was off field, yeah.
Yeah, with Morata now, it's a whole new look,
Yep.
and so we're starting to understand the cape well. Others probably got it before me, but I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing the vision of what it kind of means, and very
Yeah.
excited.
Yep.
Very excited.
100%, man. 100%.
Yeah, Jacko here saying Jazz didn't really have a great game. He may struggle to hold a spot. I don't think it is as such as a bad game. Well, it was. There was a few errors in. I think when he came on with Lusick and others, it kind of just the whole momentum of the game kind of changed. Like I talked about Egan,
Yeah.
so structured in terms of attacking around the middle of the park.
Yep.
and then when Lussick comes on, it's a whole different kind of service.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Jazz and they got involved in that a little bit. No, it was poor. Those areas were poor, but same time it felt as though like just mismatched. The energy just dropped out a little bit.
I think a
What do you
lot of
make
it.
of Jazz, bro? Am I being too nice on him, or you think he was
Nah,
very poor?
I give Jazz a lot of his due. Like, I think it's just early still, like preseason. We know Jazzy can have some errors in his game. I know I'm expecting, Webby to really, sit down with him and obviously, just keep working on little things and stuff. But, when he plays well, when he gets through his footy, like he's so good and like to have on that bench for versatility. And I know we got Walker for versatility as well, but when those boys connected as well, which we didn't really see in this game, I don't think there was a lot of like, the rotation in this game was weird for a
Yeah,
preseason. I think we're going to see a lot of different rotations during the actual season where we'll see like Walks and Jazzy on at the same time, then connecting
yeah,
through the middle because we didn't really get to see too much of that. And as you said, like as you kind of touched on, when Egan came off, a lot of what Egan does so well, and the difference between Egan and Lussick is Egan's marker work is just on like off its head. Like the way
yeah,
he
bro.
dictates that marker, pushes them to go one side. Like that Barnett first try really just showed. Like Egan
Yeah,
made that marker work so hard left, which caused that massive gap on that A defender wasn't working that hard on that right hand side, and Barnett just had just space to burn.
yeah, man.
Um, yeah, where Freddie's really just off the grounds, get through your work, loves a good scoot out of dummy half and that, and defensively sound. So it's just two different type of players. I feel like Egan just like matches it with a lot of our like sets, where I think Freddie's the guy that's so sturdy. You just chuck him in there, he'll pass off the deck really well,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
defend his ass off. So,
yeah,
um, I did notice that a little bit as well. Our momentum definitely dipped, and I feel like a lot of that was mainly due to like losing that marker work that Egan really has so well in
yeah.
his
He
game.
picks up.
Yeah,
And Jack, I'm not blaming Jazz for those. Those are his errors.
yeah,
Just sometimes, just out of sync. Comes with like timing. Run all these runs are all timing based, right?
yeah.
And like I'm definitely feel like the boys are more confident with Egan kind of directing their runs, feeding them the ball. But you're right, you're bang on, bro. I'm
Because there was
not
a lot of
disagreeing.
errors throughout this whole game anyway. Like,
Massive,
we
like
had
Dallin dropped
Jacko.
a couple, and
Jacko had a couple. It's preseason. Like we saw last season, Jazzy took it up a level from what we saw in the past. I'm sure he'll get back to form and really get back into where we want him to be. And it's the
yep,
same with Jacko. Like I can't say Jacko's out of the starting lineup after the game he had today.
yep.
He had some moments, but also had some not so good moments as well. It's preseason.
It is, it is.
Mm.
Jumping onto this one, TMM done its starting six. Shucks.
Yeah.
Interesting one. He's had limited. Well, in the times he's had TMM, it hasn't been the greatest.
Yep.
Since coming back from his injury, I do feel like confidence may be down a little bit.
Mm.
Metcalf showed some great work, and you're thinking, I think at halftime, Metcalf had done about 100 meters kicking. Sean did another 200.
Yeah.
And there were nice kicks he found in the corner. Link play was starting to come right.
Yep.
So, what's your decision on TMM? Is he out of the picture now for that sixth spot, or is he still?
Yeah, I think from what we spoke of before, like I had Metcalf to start. I think for me now, it just gives a little bit more of like, all right, Metcalf is maybe not just here. I think Metcalf's maybe just about here at the moment. And Tamade just needs to get confidence back in his game. And I think New South Wales Cup will do that for him. Like, we all know Tamade is so, like, technically gifted, still has the beautiful pass in his game and all that. I feel like he's trying too hard to put a stamp on the game and causing a lot of errors because he's still suffering from, coming back off injury last year and wanting to prove his spot. I think maybe, a good stint in New South Wales Cup will help him like wonders. And I wouldn't be afraid to see him late next year if like Mets maybe wants a little bit of a rest or whatever happens with Mets if he needs to develop a little bit more. But at
Yeah,
the moment, I think Mets has definitely got to be our six. That kick that Mets has, that little nudge from like 30 out, 40 out, in behind, into the corner. I love that kick to death. Like I've spoke about it that many times.
yep,
Yeah, defensively is still where he maybe needs to work on, and his connection with Jacko still needs a little bit of work. I'm still not sure why that's not going to plan as well. Like, I think the Falcon was caused from Mets trying to go short as well with Jacko on that side. I'm pretty sure that's what happened
Yeah,
with that one. Yeah, it was Mets, but that needs work. But at the moment, I just think his strike and his youth, like, we need to see it, and we need to see a lot more of it. So he's
yeah,
definitely that's where it's at for me, bro. Where's your thoughts at with TMM?
yeah. I think Metcalf's won the spot.
Yeah.
Pretty confident he has.
Yeah.
Um, I would have loved to see TMM with Roger, but from what I've seen of TMM, I know it's not going to be like lights out connection with
Mm.
Roger. I actually see Metcalf as the right connection, and I think that will be the play.
Yep.
But like you said, he'll just have to work his ass off and prove himself again, and no doubt injuries will come. Well, hey, Metcalf's got a hamstring injury.
Yep.
Who knows
History.
if he can last the whole season? That's
Yep.
a lot of the stuff, and when there's the dips between good and bad, it's injuries, man.
100%. 100%.
Rocco Berry, we don't know what the situation is there. Who knows?
Yep.
So he might be gone. Not saying he is. Knock on wood.
Yep.
He's not gone for the season, but it could happen.
100%,
So
man.
we're talking about Pompey for another year. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah,
it could be the
exactly.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, with TMM, we've seen him work so hard to get back to where he is now, obviously coming off the head knocks back in the day, which almost, retired him and all that with his brain injury and stuff like that. And he's
yeah.
worked so hard to get there. I won't write him off for working hard enough to get back into the starting role again. But it just caused so much competitiveness for our club as well. And like, I think Mets will just go up at another level as well. So I'm really excited to see these boys just keep working on their game, and just competitiveness is good to have at our club, especially in these key roles like this.
Yeah, and competitive is good because, especially when the attitude is right.
Mm.
I don't think any of these boys look like they've got any issue with each other. They're all competing naturally, and that's a good sign. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, exactly.
pretty happy with a lot of that. Um, oh, sorry, I put up Jacko's here. Jacko's saying that Berry looked okay walking on silent doubt. If serious, okay, that's good.
That's
I
good.
just looked
Yeah.
at the slow mo when he stretched out. It looked like the Achilles kind of. Not that I've had an
Well,
Achilles before.
he reached it, bro. He did reach
Yeah,
for it around the
and
calf
it
area
looked
back
looked like the
there.
calf might have just stretched a little bit, but that's all right.
Yeah, it was definitely a worry though.
Would you rather Pompey to start or Ali if Rocco is injured? Let's just talk about Ali a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing running power. Um, I think if you're gonna do Ali, you're gonna have to give him a lot of. You're gonna have to give him like some that extended run. What I
Yep.
mean is, if Berry's out for 5 weeks, you give Ali the 5 weeks. He
Mm-hmm.
needs a lot of time to develop with his. I think him and Metcalf. He just has. I just noticed a little tendency to just jam and just set the feet
Yeah.
a little too early for mine instead of just moving and sliding a little bit more.
Yep.
So my thing for that though is give him time to develop alongside Metcalf, have a run of games where he actually gets to work on that combination. I don't think it's an issue of mental or athletic ability. I think he's got all of those. I think it's just time under tension. Yeah, and Teeps, he does like to jam a little bit, and just sets his
Yeah.
feet a little bit too much for mine.
Yep.
And it's where Pompey for me, yes, he's slower, and we know Pompey, but you're still going to get enough coverage to be able to say he's a little bit sharper. That's my view at the moment, anyway. But
Yeah. Um, for me, bro, like
yeah, what's your view?
at the moment, bro, like I feel like I get really too in depth in some aspects of it, but like I think Bompe for me is a natural, just left-sided player. Like that was the whole thing for me, where I thought Roger was definitely going to be our right side wing, right side center. Watching a lot of Roger, just the way he carries the ball, all that sort of stuff. We've seen Pompey play right wing before, I'm pretty sure in memory, but
He's
a lot
played
of
right
like his
center too. Yep.
yeah, right center. But a lot of his good work for me, like from what I've seen of him, is left center due to like the way he carries the ball and all that sort of stuff. Like Ali for me looks very natural on that right side. He's versatile enough. I've seen him in New South Wales Cup. He can switch hands with the ball carry and all that. His ball carrying skills are so strong.
Yeah, bro. They are.
Um, I would give it to Ali, just to continue, just to be like, here, like, we
Yeah.
want you around as much as possible.
Yep.
Like, this is you. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, I can see why people would go Bomps as well. Like, for experience and that, he's been there and done that. But for me, Bomps would be my left center cover.
Yep.
And if like someone was the fill-in on that right side, it'd be Ali. That's just me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm just saying people don't get angry if he makes some errors. Give him the
Yeah.
buffer of time to
Yeah.
correct those things.
100%.
So
100%.
if you're gonna get him, you might see a few errors to start off with, and defensive reads, but give him time, because I think, like you said, he should be that right-sided center.
Yeah, but oh man, that boy can carry a ball. Like that first
Oh,
one of those first runs, bro. He bumped off. I think it was
yeah. He bumped off
JMK.
that. Yeah. That was a
Bro,
nice one, bro.
I was like, this man, he is a freak of nature. So I'm so excited to see more of him in the future. This squad, man, like, it gives me jitters. Bring on the season, bro. Bring on the season. Honestly.
Yeah, no, and good calls here. King Alexander, welcome in, man. Roger carved up him in the centers. Yeah, no, man, he's carving up everywhere. If not for injury, we'd love to see Ed Koss. Yeah, big Koss. Is he injured
100%.
at the moment?
Yeah. I think he's coming back off injury. I think he had an injury late last season, cup and all that.
Okay.
But fuck, man, it would be so good to see him in this trial. Obviously, there was photos and that of him running around and training.
Yeah,
and that, so
yeah, I know.
he's moving.
He's moving around.
But man, like the depth just gets better and better the more you look at it. You start to forget boys like Gossi. Like I thought,
I know.
Graham Talfa had a really good intercept.
He's got
at
nice
that last
runs.
part. Bro. Yeah, so like,
Setu 2 was the intercept.
was it Setu 2 where he got the intercept?
Yeah,
Sorry,
it was Setu.
Yeah, jeez, bro. Like,
Yeah, nice intangibles. Setu's got some nice intangibles about him. I like his work.
100%, bro. And Graham Talfa last week had a really good game stat wise and stuff. Where we look back and just going, shit. Like for the amount of time that he had, boy, he got through work. So, future, man, future is bright.
Yeah. King Alexander saying rugby union helped Roger. I have no doubt. King, you'd probably know King. I didn't really watch much of his rugby, but you can see like working in tight spaces, working, very sharp, all that type of
100%.
stuff. So yeah, no, very good call there. This here forward pack, man, looks blooming. That first 20 minutes just looked intense. I remember the Barnett try was like, oh, okay, we're in.
Yeah.
Just felt overpowering.
Yeah.
What's your think on the whole pack as a total? Too early to call it, but how do you think it ranks in terms of against top 8, top 4 teams at this point? What's your feeling?
Yeah, we got better from last year. I think that's a really big thing. Like that's awesome to see. Like, AFB looks good, as we kind of touched on before. Didn't have like an outstanding game. Like it wasn't like AFB's an absolute freak of nature, stands out in front of everyone. I thought Barnett was incredible, especially when we started to get the roll on. The boys were really tough to handle. I think that's it has been like with the Warriors in the past, we've had moments where we get a roll on. It's really tough to slow down that train. Like we start to get a roll on. We're starting to see a lot of that come back now. And we got boys just really thirsty for that ball. It's so good to see. Barnett's footwork through the middle is really, really good. That was one thing that really stood out for me as well. Ranking at the top 4, bro, like, bruh, the Broncos lost Flegler. That they're still really premier prop, like, and they lost Capewell. Like Piakora is a beast, but like the experience of Capewell and all that. Penrith still amazing, but they lose Spencer.
Yeah, interesting there too.
You know what I mean? A lot of these top 4 clubs, like the Storm, look good today, through the middle and all that. So they're still good, but I'd rank us up there, bro. I still think we got a top 4 pack, maybe bigger, bro. Maybe top 3. Top 3, top 2. I don't know if I'm being like out of control. You know what I mean? I think we're on track to be really good.
Yeah. Good point here by Jacko. We have a pack to be feared now with Marata on the bench. Yeah, Marata, he's holding a lot of weight. It's sitting there in the bench, and I think it's going to be exciting. Then a classy backline barring bad run. Yep. Yeah. If we stay healthy, we're looking pretty good. Look, man, what else we got here? Let's just touch on our key players. We talked a little bit about Egan already. We love what he's doing. I think no doubt everyone enjoyed watching his work. Was there any concern with him coming off 20 minutes, or do you think that's a game plan thing for the future? Maybe holding Lussick on the bench, or was it just sort of managing his time and stuff like that?
I started. I think a little bit more and more. Like I was thinking about it in between the time of when the game finished and stuff. Is like Lussick did get a little bit of minutes here, and whether that's a sign that maybe Lussick could be carried on the bench, I'm not too sure. Like they would restructure our bench quite a bit from what we said before with
Mm.
Jazzy, Walker, Murata, and whoever else fills that out, being Bunty and that. Like one of those boys would have to fill out for Lussick. I don't know if I'll read into it a little bit too much. I would think Egan still plays decent amount of minutes and all that. I think it's just preseason. We don't want to get him through. Like we saw a lot of good work early. Like that's all we really needed to see. He got some moments in his legs, and he came back on. I think a little bit after that second half as well. The rotation, as I keep going, bro. These rotations was really really weird for me. Like there was moments where Tohu came off, obviously with a head knock, and then he came back on later, and then we were just like, I was like, oh, just this squad, bro. Like I'm really excited because we finally got a squad now where I feel like you could really give Egan a little bit of a rest if you need to, and run Lussick. Even though our momentum did suffer a little bit, I don't think we fall completely away when we have someone like Luss there. You know what I mean? And
Do
we
you
got
think?
other people
Yeah,
to cover.
yeah. What do you equate the Ball brothers kind of drop? Well, other than injuries and stuff like, but we had that run of
Mm,
games with Jazz and Walker. Did this great little tandem stint.
yeah.
I suppose we've got so many options now. We might not see that impact as such, like fully. What do you make of them as a combined kind of double sub on? Do you think we'll still get that, or do you think we'll kind of
I
they'll
think we'll
stagger them a
do.
bit?
I think we'll do. I think a lot of moments why we lost it is because we had to have Walker do a lot of versatile work towards the end of last year. Like we had Mets go down with a hamstring. We had to have Walker there. Coming into the final series, SJ goes down. We had Walker come into seven. Building combination is definitely a thing. If we get more of those boys on the field at the same time, I think that combination goes back to where we want it to be. It just needs to happen a little bit more. And I think a lot of what happens is Walker's versatility just sits him in multiple different positions, doesn't just keep him as that lock that comes on from the bench and really works with our middles as much as possible, if that makes sense. So I feel like that's
Yep.
why there's a little bit of a drop. But I think it does grow back to where it needs to be, where we want it to be, because I saw a lot of great things of it last year, and I really do want to see it again.
Yeah. I'm hoping it comes back. Either way, it just needs time and development.
100%. And
Lussick or
injuries could have
Roach?
played too,
Yeah,
bro.
and injury. Yeah,
Injuries. Yeah.
injuries as well.
Yeah.
Lussick or Roach? I'm Bryce on that one. I'm sticking with Lussick for now.
100%.
And it's clear by what Webby's shown that Lussick's in that mix. Top 20, top 23 for me.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah.
Nothing against Roach though. Roach is a beast, but yeah, Luss has been there for us. You know what I mean?
Ethan, I can't blame Jazz mistake for Freddie. No, we're not blaming Lussick for that, bro.
No.
We're just talking about the difference when Lussick comes on and Egan changes the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah,
I feel like even no matter who we really cover there, like Roach has a really good game of like explosiveness through the ruck and that, but I still think that no matter who we kind of fill in that role, I think Egan's marker work and deceptiveness in the ruck is really hard to put someone else in there and continue on that momentum, if that makes sense. I feel like no
yeah,
matter what, if Jazzy has to go in there, if Walker has to go in there, if Lussick has to go in there, we're going to fall away
it's
in
a meter
attack.
drop
And
off. Yeah, it is a
it's
drop
going to
off.
have to happen. You know
Yep,
what I mean?
yep. We all love Jazz, but we can't let him hold our team back. Yeah, I don't think he's rushed too much. I think it's still once we get into the season, we'll see things. But I think Jazz, like he said, it was his first full preseason. He looks fit for me. He
He
looks in
does.
good shape. Take out those errors, and I think everything's okay. So we'll just have to wait and see. But
100%.
we should carry Lussick on the bench, covering for Hook in case of HIA. Then we can play at Kerry Walker, New Corday, Ali Bunty, Devanga. Yeah, there's some interesting thoughts there. I think we've talked a lot about those types of things.
Yeah.
There's options, Luke?
Yeah.
There's
I just
options.
hope the boys, like everyone out there, like let's not read into the preseason of Jazzy or, some of these boys there. Like, we got a decent win here. There was moments where we fluctuated, and I think a lot of that did happen to rotation. It just is what it is. I know Jazzy didn't have a good game. There was, TMM didn't have a good game. Like, that. these players will get back into form. I believe in it.
Yeah.
And even if they do, I believe that we have players to cover. So don't take this one game as a preseason game as
Yeah.
you writing off Jazzy for the season. You know what I mean? Like we've
Yeah, you can't do that, bro. No way.
nah.
Tavanga is usually, but out now I think Ale Bun's better mids. Yeah, good call. Yeah, better mids. Lucky Lusser can play middle if we need, especially soccer. Yep,
Yeah,
it's been 2 games. Yeah, fair enough. Yep, but like we just said, Ethan, yeah, just patience, bro.
patience is a big thing,
Um,
man.
yeah, we didn't win the preseason challenge, so man, we failed. We failed, man. We failed
A lot of it,
miserably. We
a
should
lot
have
of it
got a
we got to
trophy. We needed a
watch.
trophy. We
Man,
needed
that's
a
the big
preseason
thing.
challenge for the cabinet, man.
Are we just these guys that are just gonna go through and we got not have any trophies in our cabinet or anything? Like we got a
We need
minor
bloody trophy. We
premiership,
got
but
one minor premiership, but we need a bloody preseason challenge, man.
at least we
How
ain't
the
got no
heck?
wooden spoon, bro. We still haven't got no wooden spoon. I'll give you
Yeah. No, hey, I don't want that.
that.
Don't put that in my trophy cabinet. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Um,
Put that in my cabinet.
yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, where we? Let's talk. Did we talk AFB a little bit?
Yeah, bits and
Uh,
pieces, bro, but we can go more into it if you want.
we'll go Tohu. How do you think Cap held up? You think you're pretty happy with him?
42 tackles, bro. Just gets through his work, man. It's a
Yeah,
preseason game. Like, just relax. Like, Tohu,
yeah.
bro, you don't need to go out all warrior on us, but this is why we love him, bro. This is why we love him.
Hard.
The captain, man. The
Um,
captain.
yeah, Captain. Um, was it Lussick's come a long way? Yeah, he looks good. They all look very healthy. I mean, Marata looks trim, eh?
Yeah, Morata
Like
looks
Marata looks ready
very
to go
good.
from a massive season. Who's a possible third goal kicker if Sean goes down? Now
Metcalf, I reckon.
Metcalf, eh? Yeah, I think Metcalf kicked some goals today.
Yep.
Um,
And look good. Barnett can kick goals, bro. Like, people forget Barnett was a goal kicker for the Knights for a little bit there.
Preseason trophy is a Clayton's trophy. That one, what's the Clayton's trophy? I don't know what that is, brother.
Bro,
But yeah,
let's not do
anyway.
the soccer thing.
Yeah. Okay, man. Well, I feel like we've covered some big areas. How are we tracking for the start of season? You know what I mean? You feeling
Yeah.
pretty confident, man? We're gonna have a good year. The
Very
top.
much so. Very much so, bro. I think we've seen a lot of good things here. Obviously, as Warriors fans, we've come off an amazing year last year. There's a lot of people calling us as being a club to fall away. But when we see things like this and our club as in like as a whole, the more I read into it, the more I love it, the more I see like our club stabilizing, our juniors are coming through looking great. Our last preseason game where a lot of our juniors did play and looked incredible out there, especially against some really quality first graders. In this game, we got to see our first team and how strong they are. And when they get a roll on, they look like they're going to be very tough to slow down. We saw new positions. Obviously, Kate Ball coming to the club. He impressed. Defensively, very much so. I was very, very impressed with that. Murata in his new position looks incredible.
Yep.
It's just, man, like if we continue to keep building, because we're not perfect, you know, there's no real perfect. You know, Penrith are pretty close to being perfect, but there's no real perfect club in the NRL. We're adding strings to our bow. We're doing everything we can to look like a premiership team, and I can't, you know, like, do you think we're going to be top 4 this year after looking at this?
Yeah, man. I want to watch just well, I just want to see a few things under duress. I want to play the Sharks. I want to see that game.
Yep.
Specifically, I want to see RTS and his channel defensive work against
Yep.
a Nico Hines, Ramy, and Couture, that edge.
Yep.
Melbourne, that's another one I want to watch. And like I'm just looking at, I really just want to see how we stack up against top 4 teams. I'm big on this year on beating top 8 teams.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, but I want to beat Panthers at Magic Round. I want to beat Melbourne. I
Yep.
want to beat Roosters. I want to beat Rabbitohs. These are the teams I want to dominate, or win games, win tough games.
100%.
But you just want to see the defense under a bit more duress. I mean, there was that 6 again period where we leaked that try, the kick in behind. Not over reading into it, but there's like I want to see more how we cope with a lot of defensive pressure. Offensively, I feel confident as hell.
Yep.
I feel we've got enough meters in us. I feel the boys are fit enough. I feel the 4-pack looks great.
Yep. I think the one big positive with RTS in this game too, at that centre role, like Herbie wasn't really that effective in this game, and like
Yeah,
we limited like Herbie last year, Daly M, like centre, like Just incredible. Like 69 meters in this game, only 6 runs, was limited very much so.
I think he's missing the Broncos, bro. That,
Yeah.
that that attack is just deadly, and I think
Oh,
he benefited a
100%. And
lot
Sean
from it.
O'Sullivan going down early didn't really help him either
Yeah.
on that side. But,
Yep.
these are all really good signs that, I totally agree with you though. Like that is the one thing we are missing is knocking off the Storm, the Broncos, the Panthers. Like
Got to do it this year. Yeah.
the Roosters, the Rabbitohs are the two ones that really, out of all the teams there, we didn't get a win over those guys last year, and we had moments too. That's the big thing, and I think we could jump up now. You know what I mean? We're on a different level now.
Cause is saying, did you both watch Sharks? Like, yeah, that was a horrible game.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't think the Sharks will be okay round one, but I just still want to see it because I know they've got their edge attack's pretty good.
Yep.
In general, so I will want to see RTS and how he kind of copes with that volume.
100%. 100%.
But I feel confident that we can beat the Sharks.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was a pretty poor game by them.
It was a pretty dire game overall, that one. I felt like, you're completely right though. Like for RTS to come up against someone like Ramian, I'm trying to picture off the top of my head. I think it'll be Ramian he'll be Dean up against.
Yep,
that's definitely a good test because very strong center, gets very good early ball from Nico Hines. We'll see a one-on-one contest there.
I thought Averillo did a good job on RTS too, enough to contain that speed that Averillo has.
Yep.
Contained him on a few carries, but Rogers he attacks different parts of the field all the time. So, but in terms of channels, I think he did a good job there.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I want to see Ramian definitely Katoa that edge. That's my kind of. Yeah, Broncos going to miss Flegler. You can tell even Flegler kind of looked a bit out of place. I think he's going to take a bit of time to develop. But you can tell those boys are going to be a big loss.
100%, brother, 100%. But
Bryce
we keep
saying,
adding strings, bro.
Oh, yeah, we do. Sorry to jump you there, bro.
Sorry, my bro.
Considering the game was announced as a seller, I was disappointed to see so many empty seats. I really hope the Grubs are not buying seats to try and sell them. It's weird. I don't think it was a technically sold out stadium. I think they must have limited tickets for preseason. Maybe
it must be. Bro,
it might have been 15,000. I don't know. Maybe
I still think it was a really good turnout for a preseason game. Like many other years. I know these are the Broncos versus Manly. I'm currently watching it beside us as well. There's no one there. I know these are all young teams and stuff, but I haven't seen a massive turnout like ours in the preseason from any other club really.
Nah. The wave of popularity we have at the moment is just no one marks it. So I think we're
Jacko, 19,000 crowd. Yeah.
Was it 19,000? Sheesh, that's still pretty. Yeah, but I wonder if that was they had limited tickets.
Possibly.
Maybe they weren't opening up all the bays, or I don't know what it is, but
preseason, there's a lot up in the air in preseason.
Oh, mad traffic jams and thank you, Jose. Thanks for sharing that, brother. Hey, I think that kind of wraps up where we're at, my friend.
Yeah, man.
How do you feel? Is it we covered everything? Oh, the wingers maybe Montoya, Dallin a little bit.
Yeah, both had good games. Dall with a beautiful intercept there. If Dall's going to be feeding on that, players like Reece Walsh need to really be worried, as we see. Definitely a weapon that we have there on the edge and stuff. Going through everyone else, as we touched on, I think Metz had a good game. He looked good. Shawnee, when Shawnee and RTS connected there, you saw that little offload from RTS and Shawnee get on his bike. Nice. I was like, back the clock, Shawnee, throw a goosey or something, brother.
Yeah. But no, it looked good. I was thinking, man, Metcalf's going to be enjoying it around RTS this year, man. If he just hangs around him.
Bro, I think that middle channel's going to be fed this year. Think of Egan dictating that ruck. If there's going to be gaps like what Barnett had to run through there, imagine RTS coming through the middle and having those open opportunities. And Metcalf on his inside. We can finish a lot of good opportunities if everything goes right. So, very excited.
Yeah, SC Warriors saying left side tech showing a lot of positives. Yeah. And Causa, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming in, everyone. Thank you. If you haven't given us a like or subscribe, please do. We appreciate everyone coming. It's great to have everyone in the chat. Big up the chat. And
big up the chat.
Yeah, that's true. One of the top bays at the south end was completely empty. It might have been, Jacko did mention that the season ticket holders didn't rock up. But yeah, interesting though. 19,000 for a preseason game. That's just insane.
Still very good, man. And hopefully we continue that into the season and we continue just to keep this club bumping because last year was incredible.
Yeah, and like Jazz is saying, Tamatia, yeah, more. I want to win that Panthers game for sure. Thanks, Jacko, for popping in, and Nas, appreciate it, man. We love having you
Sure,
guys. We'll be
boys.
back. I think Tuesday. Hopefully, we're gonna do
100%.
all you can eat Warriors. We'll be back on Tuesday, but I think we've done a good job covering it. Enjoy the
Definitely.
rest of the 2 weeks. I mean, we'll talk more on Tuesday.
Yep.
Come in for that chat, and we'll just sort of start maybe marking out some games and looking ahead for the season,
Yep.
that type of thing. But no, thanks guys for coming in. We appreciate your time, and as well, give a like and a subscribe. Please type in Ash Thomas
Boys.
into your search engine, and go and subscribe to Ash's work as well, and on
Thank you, my bro.
TikTok. Amazing stuff.
Thank you, my
Um,
bro.
but thank you, man. That's going to be us for tonight.
Yep.
We'll catch you guys on the flip. Up the
Thank you,
wires.
guys. Up the wires.